Hi everyone, this is Jane here again, and I just came back to do a little bit more on this masterboard because when I watched back the previous one, I noticed that the camera had moved a little bit and it meant that you couldn't see the whole thing. So I decided to show you the whole thing so you can actually see what I was talking about in the previous one, and maybe do a little bit more on this so that you can kind of see the effects that you can get that we were working on, because you know it's fun to do these things. So yeah, I just kind of feel like all this part of it went missing. So if you were wondering what the differences with the blues, because you couldn't see that, this was the turquoise, and this was how it looks on the matte side of things. So I thought what I would do is to maybe, I've done some stenciling on here and I've done a little bit of with the watercolour pencils. So I thought maybe I would use some stamps and see what effect we got with using some of the stamps. And as usual, I've come completely unprepared. Just kind of thought, oh, I'll just do something to show you, so that I can show you the whole image. Because you couldn't see that before, so it was just all a little bit weird. So let me grab a few stamps that we could use. I used a couple of like really basic ones, and because the thing is with a masterboard, which I haven't really talked about what you might use a masterboard for, and people use them for all kinds of different things, so it'd be different for everybody. But what I tend to do is sometimes I will cut them up and use them in junk journals. So you could cut them up, use them for pockets, you could use them as tags, you could use them as like journaling cards, or you could keep them and scan them and use them as digitals, or you could use them as journal covers, like cut this into like a big piece and use it as a journal cover. So there's loads of things that you could use it for. It just depends what you want to do with it, really. But the good thing is it's versatile and you can do whatever you want to do with it, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get a couple of different stamps and we'll stamp on this and see what we get. Let's use this one. I'm kind of trying to use stamps that would kind of go with any journal rather than something too specific, because I don't know what I'm going to use this for yet, so it's who knows, really. So I'm going to use this Memento black ink for this. This is not like the distress inks that react with water. This is like a permanent ink, so it's quite a good one to use if you want something that's going to just sort of be there forever. And well, unless you cover it up. So this is a good thing about junk journals. If it doesn't work or you don't like it, you can just cover it up and it's all good. So let's just see what the effect is if we put a stamp here. We might get a cat visitor in a minute. He's running around looking for attention, so he may just decide to jump straight up on the table. That has been known. So you can see it comes out quite clearly. Let's try it on the mat. On the white gesso. So it may be, I think the thing is, because this white gesso knocks back the background, then anything you stamp on it is going to be much clearer. So that makes sense. That's logical, isn't it? I think it is. So I think it's interesting though to sort of have a look and see what these different things do. So let's have a play with one of these frames. Let's use a frame picture. Let's try this one. Go. So I'm just going to get the ink on it as much as you can. Now, other thing to remember is that sometimes if you press it wrong, you can get ink that spreads up here, and then you get smears on your work. So, I mean, I've just taken it off with my finger, but really the best thing to do it with is a baby wipe or something like that. So I just didn't have one to hand. So, yeah, that's what I would recommend, just having a baby wipe nearby. Let's see. I'm going to put this a little bit over the colour as well. I think it's cool. I actually really enjoy working with stamps. But you can kind of just put these, I didn't press that down very well. Good thing, let's see if we can rectify that, because sometimes if you line it up properly, you can fix that, but sometimes you can't, and it goes a bit double-edged, like it's all gone a bit blurry, but that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Things can be retrieved. So let's put this one back in here. Let's get this, because that's where that plastic bit goes. What else could we stamp on here for a bit of interest? Where have I put them? Honestly, I'll put things down and they sort of trot off somewhere and I don't know where they've gone. I think the fairies come and take them away. Let's see what we've got here. What could we use? Let's just pull one out at random and use it anyway, no matter what it is. Okay. So anything with pulling one out at random is that some things are not appropriate. So for instance, I wouldn't use this stamp here, which is like writing, handwriting, because not on book pages, it's just too busy, that's too busy. So I'm going to pick the feather off of here and we'll use that because that will stand out. Just going to get the ink on the feather. And plop it on there. Cool. Doesn't come out brilliantly. Let's just pop. Don't know whether that didn't come out brilliantly because I didn't press it down very well, or because it's actually I've put it onto the gelato. That's worth remembering. Looks like if you put it onto gelato, it doesn't take particularly brilliantly. There we go. Cool. So that's the stamps. What I didn't do, which might be an interesting little thing to try, would be to get a stencil. It's actually this is how sad I am. When I went to bed last night, I was thinking, what else could I do on that? And I did think I'll stencil something on there and see what that looks like. So I'm going to do that, but bear with me. So I'm just going to have a rummage in my ink box, and it's usually the last one that comes out, but it's not. It's good. Yay. We've had a bit of a result, and the green has come out straight away. Now all I need is my green brush. There's my green brush. Okay, excellent. So I thought what might be fun is to just go down the edge. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it upside down, just in case I lose this off the edge of the camera. And I'm just gonna, because I wanted to just do it down the edge here. Let's just see. Hey Merlin, what are you up to? If you can hear rummaging going on, I've got some plastic bags that need to go back to Ocado next time they come. And Merlin is chasing them around the room. Which is weird, because if you get a plastic bag out, sometimes he'll run away from it like he's scared of it, but he's actually playing with it at the moment, so obviously not scared of it at all. So I'm using peeled paint, I should be able to see that, which is a green. I'm just gonna stencil it on to here, which goes over the length of both the matte version and the clear version, so we can see if there is any difference. I'm not so sure that there really is, to be honest. Let me put it around the right way first of all. So it seems to be with the inks that they do seem to come out very similar. Very similar. Let me just put, let's just put some leaves. So it is all starting to fill up. But it kind of doesn't matter, because you can just put things over one another. It's like you're layering things up, so the collage. Hello, maybe don't walk in the ink. That's not a clever idea. He really doesn't like it while I'm crafting, because what he likes is for me to be sat on the sofa with him, having cuddles, and just doing what Merlin wants to do, which is all cool, because we like doing what Merlin wants to do. It's all good fun. Let's just put some leaves down here. So if you can hear him chasing things around. So this is looking quite cool, and we're starting to build up quite a lot of stuff going on. There was already quite a lot of stuff going on because it's book page, so there's going to be lots and lots of, it's busy with book page, I think. So let me just see if there's any other, maybe I'll use this. Let's just see. Merlin, going crazy. Crazy. You're in a funny 5 minutes, mate. Yeah, funny 5 minutes. Right. So this is a little little trees. Where can we put some little trees? Let's just pop some. I'm just going to put a bit of treeage here. Right, so I'm going to use my vintage photo ink for this, and I'm going to try and find my brown ink thing. Where's the brown? Where's the brown? I think this is meant to be brown, but I think it might have had pink on it at one stage. Let's see. Let's see how it comes out. Just going to go a little bit over the book and see. It's interesting when you sort of start to layer things up because it feels a bit odd at first. It's like I really don't like how that ends. So I think if I use this again, I'll make sure that the pattern goes off of the top so that it doesn't just end in a bit of a dead end. It's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. So yeah, you can just go on building it up and then cut them up into whatever you want to cut them up into. What I'll probably do, and I won't do it now because it will take ages and you don't want to watch me do this because it would be boring, is to fussy cut out some like focal points that I can stick on here. So with a masterboard, you can either do that, like stick on some focal points now, or you can wait until you cut it up and then put more focal points on, or a focal point on, so that it really stands up on the item that you have. So it's really up to you what you want to do and how you want to do it. I've always put a few little like fussy cut out flowers and things on here, and I do have a digital kit that I've got in mind that I might put on this, because I just think it might fit quite nicely. But I'm also having this sort of bit of a debate in my head because this feels quite busy already, so I may cut it up first into what I'm going to use it for, which will probably be some journal cards, tags, that kind of thing, and then put the fussy cuts on afterwards so that I can, because this is so, this feels quite busy to me. I feel like I might get a bit overwhelmed with it if I put it all on all together and then try and cut it up and then try and put a different focal point on it. It just feels like it might be a bit overwhelming. So that's my plan for now with this. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this one is more central so you can actually see all of it. Sorry if the last one was a bit frustrating because you couldn't see all of the imagery. Problem that I have quite often with these things is that the camera's up high and I can't see it because I'm sat down while I'm doing this. So I didn't know that I was cutting the end of it off. And I didn't want to, well, I couldn't really re-record the whole thing because I'd done the whole thing. So if you have enjoyed, and I can't remember words there now, if you have enjoyed the little thing, little video, little craft with me, little masterboard session, please give the video a thumbs up and a like and a share, all of that good stuff. And I'll be back again to do a little bit more soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.